This is the Blue Moon Podcast. Coming up, we've got all the news and views from Manchester City's week. It's your club, and this is your show.
Well, it seems that Manchester City have got back into the saddle and are going about their business once again. A few weeks ago, the winning run was halted by a pair of defeats, but now it's 4 wins on the bounce, and it's left the club in a healthy position in both the Champions League and the Premier League tables. That said, it's not been a week without talking points. Aside from the small matter of coming from behind in the Bernabeu, they appear to have added set-piece goals, Rabona assists and long-range thumps from centre-backs to their repertoire this season. Combine that with chaotic spells in matches, and you won't be short of entertainment at the Etihad, that's for sure. We'll discuss everything from the wins over Sunderland and Real Madrid on this week's Blue Moon podcast. Plus, we'll catch up with the comedian and Crystal Palace fan Andre Vincent ahead of City's trip to Selhurst Park this weekend. Then there's always the small matter of the League Cup tie with Brentford to preview as well. I'm David Mooney. Joining me this week, I've got City fan Ciaran Murray. Hello, Ciaran.
Hello, David.
And from the Daily Mail, fresh off the plane home from Madrid, Jack Gaughan's with us. How are you doing?
Hello, David. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. 20 minutes, you've been in the country or so?
Yeah, I managed to go to the Chinese. I've got a duck fried rice on the go, ready to talk City.
But no prawn crackers?
No prawn crackers. I didn't get any free prawn crackers, despite the Chinese being at the end of my road and me going, I would say, fairly regularly.
How regularly is fairly regularly?
I don't know, once a month.
That's
not regular.
That's not you're not a regular. You can't go in there and say, "Can I have the usual, please?" If you go once a month, they don't know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It's not free prawn crackers regular, that Jack.
Who's going into a Chinese and going, "I'll have the usual"?
Certainly not Jack Gaughan. That's who.
Yeah. Pour me a pint of the usual, please.
Yeah.
I think once a month. Once a month is fairly regular, isn't it?
Do they know who you are? Do they recognise you now as as the guy that lives down the road?
That feels like a loaded question, David. Do they know who I am?
Not in that sense.
That's what I said to them when they didn't give me prawn crackers about half an hour ago.
I mean, that's a nice start to the show because I went for the rather crude. If you could pee perfume, what scent would you like, Ciaran?
Prawn crackers.
Prawn crackers.
Because I'm such a regular, I'm local Chinese. No, probably something like just something lovely, like Biscoff or something, you know.
Yeah.
Just something. I think there's a cinnamony kind of vibe and a gingery sort of Christmassy flavour with Biscoff, and I eat enough of it. It might be a way to actually put me off it because I'm eating so much. I'm sort of secret eating at the minute as well, like with it. I just fucking love Biscoff. Like it's been a revelation the past couple of years. Yeah. Do you remember we were at Alton Towers and KC got those donuts with a Biscoff dipping sauce? Oh,
is that where it started?
No, it's been going on. It's been going on for years now. Like, but yeah, it was just that, like those sugary donuts with like dipping into the melted Biscoff sauce. It's just so fit, like fucking class.
So Biscoff piss.
Like, are you going to explain the context of this piss?
Well, purely because I think he was there. I might let Jack do it.
Oh, I thought you were just asking that because you're deranged.
No, it was Guardiola in the press conference, wasn't it?
Well, Guardiola was pretty deranged if you read it out of context. Like,
it was a very, very strange moment. Basically, he said he was getting peppered with questions about Xabi Alonso. I'd actually been at Xabi Alonso's press conference in the morning, and Pep got a harder time about Xabi Alonso from the Spanish press than Xabi Alonso got about Xabi Alonso in the morning. It was all quite like fairly soft. One of them just went, "Oh, do you feel lonely?" I was like, "Fucking hell, you've all been like writing like thousands of words, writing him off and sacking him all like for
not
2
too
days."
Xabi Alonso.
Anyway,
yeah,
nice. So I think Guardiola just sort of got kind of sick of it a little bit and was trying to come up with different ways of answering the same question. And when he was Barcelona manager, some of the Madrid press had said that when he goes for a piss, it smells like perfume because he's so arrogant, sort of thing. And then he got asked one of the questions about Xabi Alonso, and he said, I advise him to pee on his own, in a sort of vague reference to this kind of jibe from 15 years ago. That obviously
stuck with him.
Obviously, none of the English lads in the room understood, and we were all like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
And it's stuck with him for 15 years, and he still thinks about it. Yeah,
yeah. I've got a really good Roy Hodgson story that like a 20-year-old grudge, but I mean, it's not. Yeah,
let's hear it. Come on.
But like the Pep thing, so he probably thought of delivering this line beforehand and managed to do it because he's got into this habit of in the last couple of weeks of saying something like, you know me, David, at press conferences, I often say, man says interesting word, let's do that. So that's what he does. And then he just goes, oh, you've got your headline now, which he's never done in 10 years. He's never said that phrase. And he said it 3 times in 2 weeks. And then we were just like sort of discussing it after, going, oh, this is interesting that he said the word pee. But then I was like, I don't really know what the news angle is. So we all sort of left it, I think. It was odd. The whole thing was a bizarre. In a long, long list of bizarre Pep Guardiola press conference moments, it was
right up there.
I don't think right up there. I think it'd be pushing the top 10, but I don't think it'd be trouble in the Champions League places.
What are the ones you're thinking of that are high up? Burnley.
What was Burnley?
Burnley?
When he did the double take on listing all the clubs that had written to the Premier League about City and Cass.
Burnley.
Yeah.
Stan Collymore was good.
Oh yeah.
Stan Collymore was a good one. There was one where there was 2 of us asking questions at the same time, actually at Turf Moor, and he I can't remember who the other one was trying to ask alongside me, and he pointed to me and went ladies first, which was not picked up, but that would be in my top 10 really.
Are we including interviews as well? Because he vomits is just like, I know, as a parlour for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He vomits. He feels sick.
How about John Stones' balls?
Yeah, that was particularly weird.
Because first season as well, it's kind of like we're still getting to grips with this guy, and then he drops that.
Yeah, drops both.
Yeah.
In fact, I will have to write this piece at some point.
What about We Will Be There?
That was more to do with the sort of question though.
Right.
That was like, the question was like,
who do you want in the next round? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Who do you want? It's like,
We'll be there.
What's he going to say? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to write this piece at some point of like the amazing moments, and I will have to sort of give it more thought than I have done just now. But yeah, I think the peeing, it's not an all timer, which speaks volumes for the man, really.
Okay, so let's dive into City this week then, because Ciaran, after the chaos that was the second half against Leeds, and then the utter insanity that was pretty much all of the game against Fulham, we get a performance against Sunderland where it's pretty much like it's nice and controlled, and everything is kind of how City really want it to be. And then you get Real Madrid, where they're having to dig in a lot more than maybe would have been hoped. But again, it is Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. Where do you think City are at the moment? What's your sense of how the week has been?
Well, I think that kind of shows the versatility that City have at the minute, and the fact that I think Pep and the team have worked out that every team is going to set up differently and everybody's going to try a different approach, and City need to, as kind of Pep's always done, it's been a bit of a sort of mantra of his, adapt to the opposition. But at the minute, games are so chaotic and there's no way of kind of like predicting what way they're going to go. So it feels like sort of turn up and in the moment deal with what's in front of you. And they've got the personnel. He seems to have found a first 11 who he really trusts. They've got this team spirit and camaraderie. They've got the pain of last season. And I just feel that they really are adapting in such a versatile way to whatever challenges in front of them at the minute. And where I think City are at, I don't really know, but I know this season's just brilliant crack. Like, it's insane. You never, like, talking about what, the sort of nonsense that Pep's coming out with at the minute. Like, I feel like we're going to look back at this season and just go, what a laugh that was. Like, you've got 5, like, how have we shipped 4 goals to Fulham at Craven Cottage, and then the sort of surprise package of the season, so in Sunderland, who everybody was kind of like really dreading, and who've come up with, who've had some great results against big clubs, big scalps this season. We just like bossed them, and we just
no problem whatsoever.
Just swept them aside. Like, I was thinking while I was watching the game, like, I thought Sunderland were supposed to be good, and they probably were, but City just made little boys of them. It was amazing. And then to go from that to then pure chaos again and manage to deal with it and, come away with the wins. It's hilarious. It's all just mad. Every game, like Sam Lee keeps talking about the games being fun. And that's what it feels like. The season's just really good fun. Whether it is, that kind of like beating the promising newly promoted Sunderland in a surprisingly comfortable way, or, having a 9-goal thriller with Fulham. It's just like, you can't write or predict it, and no wonder the kind of charity bet's been so low this year, because how can you ever...
We've won once. Yeah. We've won once all season so far. We can't. I don't know what's going on.
So when you ask me like where City are at, I don't know, because nothing is predictable. Every game's different, and you just don't know what you're going to get, and it's really like, every game's a surprise package, and it's brilliant. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's good fun. Like,
if you're Arsenal watching City do all this, Jack, like to move into within 2 points of them at the top of the table, do you have any idea what you're up against?
Oh yeah, you got a pretty good idea, haven't you? That historically, you can't say historically City teams, because it's a different team to what it was a few years ago, obviously. But historically, Guardiola teams have been ones that grow throughout the season, and Guardiola's been like at pains to address this pretty much all season, to be honest. He's mentioned it a few times that he's like, the winning teams are the teams that grow into the season. And Guardiola, with the way that he sets everything up, which is to do with like sort of training schedules and goes back to the pre-season, and like we've written reams and reams on this in previous seasons, it's all geared up towards sort of that uplift in February, March. So Arsenal will know exactly, Arteta will know exactly what's coming. And City will, in my view, will only get better.
I was going to say, are they capable of delivering that this season, do you think, given the chaos that they like we talked about chaos and control in games in the past in previous seasons, but this feels like on a whole new level now.
I think they're capable of controlling games. It's just whether they want to or not. I mean, it might get to a point where towards the end of the season where it's like, going back to the silly press conferences, he might turn around and say, well, put the ball in the fridge and let's like play how we normally play. And like when they get Rodri back, maybe they play Rodri and Gonzalez next to each other, and it's very much like pass, where it's not that at the moment. I think with the Rodri absence has obviously hasn't helped the team at all, but it has sort of allowed them to be a bit freer in wanting to go more direct. Whereas if you've got Rodri, you've got so much control in that area of the pitch, whereas they don't have as much. I mean, Gonzalo's been brilliant all season, but obviously he's not Rodri, and no one can be Rodri. So them playing a slightly different way is probably made easier actually by not having the best player in the team, bizarrely. And I just think, yeah, my piece from last night was just about like sort of, it's quite a good barometer for where the team is at the moment, and a good test, because there was only 5 of the starting 11 last night started the game in February.
Yeah.
At the Bernabeu, which is a massive, it's a huge turnover. Obviously, some have not been picked, but you know, a fair amount of them have left the club, and there was 6 from the first leg from February that weren't in the team either. So, and it was a different 6, which sort of suggested an even a huge turnover and overhaul of the squad. I just think that sort of performance and the grit and determination that was shown, particularly in the last 10 minutes, the defending like Gvardiol, like last 10, 15 minutes, absolute colossus.
What
Like,
was the
amazing.
sense like in the stadium for you?
I thought they were going to score.
Yeah.
I was convinced they were going to score.
Because on TV, the commentary team were, from about 83, 85 minutes onwards, were kind of talking as if City had got the job done, as if City would just hold out.
I didn't feel
I didn't feel like that. And I didn't know if that's just me being a fan watching it and kind of fearing the worst. Like, what was it like in there?
Yeah, it felt... the home fans were getting exceptionally frustrated with... There was a couple of moments where they didn't play the right final pass, and it was sort of getting hostile towards their own team, which kind of sums up where Madrid are at the moment, I suppose. But it did feel like it had that like kind of something's going to drop. I mean, you look at the Bellingham chance where he inexplicably chips it over the bar, or the moment where I can't remember who it was, but then they sort of tried to chip someone in rather than just play a square ball on the right hand side, and they would have been in. Like Real got into some really, really presentable opportunities, and on another night, City lose that game 4-2. But when Real were really throwing everything at them in the last 5-10 minutes, it was like Gvardiol and Diaz. They would sort of man the back four really, really well. Thought the Ake substitution worked, albeit only for a few minutes. And I just think that kind of the way they played, they've got more levels to reach, definitely. And I think that's the most encouraging thing about it, that they were able to go there, get a result, but also know that, my God, we've got like 4th, 5th, 6th gear to it. And that should be really exciting for everyone this season, I think.
Yeah. It's really weird, Ciaran, as well, because you think of, we talked about those Fulham and Leeds games. You think of those and the defensive frailties that City showed in them. And yet you've also got this season, last 20 minutes against Real Madrid, okay, we just head it away. The pretty much the entire game against Arsenal, okay, we'll just head it away. Like, they feel like both very resolute at times, but also really fragile at times.
And I suppose it's weird how reactive some of the defending is, the back four just seems, dishevelled, and it's like how much of it is dealing with the onslaught that comes on. And I mean, the amount of times I think of Haaland defending this season and heading it out, like his role and how much it's changed. So it's like inviting an onslaught and let's deal with it and backing themselves, as opposed to having this, like a really like rooted, grounded system in place at the back. But it seems to be paying dividends all right in certain games, and then at other times when they're got at, you never know what to expect. I mean, the funny thing about the defense last night was Rodrigo scoring for them, because if I was cooking me tea as I was watching the kind of preview, and it said
what were you having?
What did we have last night? I sort of like, we do that gusto, don't we? So it was like a Caribbean chicken, like breadcrumby thing. It had a zest of lime into the breadcrumbs. It was so nice, really, lovely.
Stop it!
I know. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind perfume pea. With that sort of flavour. Like that's how good it was. But
what benefit would that have?
Just to remind me of a gorgeous meal that I enjoyed.
See, if I was at your Ireland, that was happening, I'd get really pissed off. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know. What was that myth about the sugar puffs? Did you ever hear that one? That sugar puffs made your pish smell of sugar puffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it wasn't a cereal we ever had in our house, so I don't know. I could never test the theory, like so.
Well, to my
right
knowledge,
into us on Blue Sky and on Patreon.
Well, you're a grown man now, Ciaran. You can actually test it for yourself.
I know. Sugar puffs seem like
Are they still going, sugar puffs?
I don't even know.
Surely still going. Surely they're still going.
They're very much a child's breakfast in my head, and I know, like as a grown man, I can I've got the autonomy.
You can have a child's breakfast if you want to,
and the agency to get involved. Like, but.
I reckon Mooney's a man for a child breakfast. I reckon
Shreddies is my cereal of choice.
Chocolate Shreddies?
No, just Shreddies. Chocolate doesn't belong. As much as I eat chocolate, it doesn't belong on the breakfast table, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's in a bowl, so.
Do you put sugar on them?
No.
A bit of a plain breakfast, I don't know. Like. I'm a porridge man myself, and because I love how you can sort of put extra accoutrement in your porridge, such as blueberries and syrup and all that. But recently I've been doing Biscoff spread in there. Like, that's how
Jesus.
I know that's how much of a sort of addict I am. It's mental. I don't know what's happened to me. Like,
yeah.
But what was the question?
Anyway,
again?
Rodrigo.
So I was cooking the dinner, and like, when I heard that he hadn't scored in 32 games, I was like, put your house on it. Like, he's going to score. Like, here's City. Like, he definitely was gonna. And then, sure enough, it happened. And I thought Nico O'Reilly probably could have done, slightly better, and he certainly atoned for it and redeemed himself with his performance the rest of the game. But Jack,
I was just going to say,
you're choking. You had your hand up like that in a panic. Get him the Heimlich.
Who would you have given man of the match to last night?
I was thinking that Nico O'Reilly had just an absolutely incredible match. He obviously scored, and he was, he crossed in the ball for the penalty decision then for Haaland. But I thought he was class the whole game. Really, and I think he's class every game, but he notably stood out, and just to play in the Bernabeu for the first time and play like that. He's weaved himself in so well that a performance like that doesn't even. It's just kind of run of the mill now, but I thought he was excellent last night.
I wondered if you were thinking Diaz or Guardiola, Jack.
I had to do the ratings last night. I gave it to Guardiola, and actually I've been sort of kind of feeling a little bit guilty about O'Reilly. I gave O'Reilly a 7 last night, and part of it was to do with the goal, but also he was sort of kind of at fault for 2 quite big chances that Real Madrid created second half. But then what I didn't do was factor in that he's a 20-year-old lad playing at the Bernabeu for the first time, which is what Ciaran just said.
Out of position as well.
Well, he's not really out of position anymore, but fine. But I'm not even factoring that in because of what Ciaran, none of it's like his performances aren't a surprise. It's become the norm. So I didn't even think that it's like, well, this is a monumental occasion for him. You just like sort of judging it on the kind of the way he's sort of managing the game, I suppose. But it sort of like goes back to what you were saying before, David, about like how does it feel in the ground? Like, everyone that's watched on telly has gone, oh, Nico O'Reilly's man of the match. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm probably wrong about O'Reilly's performance last night. But in the ground, it felt like they can probably get O'Reilly. And he was really, really good going forward, really, really good. But then defensively, there were a couple of incidents where I went, they're kind of picking on him a little bit. But then I don't know whether that's because I was looking at it, there's more scrutiny because everyone knows how good he is, or whether you're watching the game a little bit differently from that vantage point, or whether you're in the ground or what. Because I've been thinking about it all day because I saw that he got man of the match on the TV, and there were a few guys in the press room that thought he was man of the match as well. I don't know whether that's because they knew that he got it on the telly or what. But
I think if you're Madrid, you probably would.
Interesting.
You would think about picking on him, though, wouldn't you? Like, just with the context of him, you're going to think he's a young lad. He's only just 20. He's going to be like overawed by the occasion, and he's not. He's not a true fullback. So let's get at him with our elite wingers. So when you add that context in and think of how well he coped, I agree with you.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's not that's not me criticising him. It's that I was probably looking at it through a slightly different lens, maybe.
The bar's been raised, by what he's done previously. Yeah.
You see stats pop up all the time about clubs and players, and you want to know that exact thing about City. There's an answer. statscity.co.uk. Want to find out all of the players who played alongside club legends like David Silva, Sergio Aguero or Vincent Kompany? Or maybe you'd like to know which team found it hardest to score past Joe Hart. You can find out City's record in every competition, at every stadium, and under every manager. Just go to statscity.co.uk and browse away. That's statscity.co.uk.
Please give us your backing. Patreon.com/Blue Moon Podcast.
I mentioned it in the intro as well, Jack. We bemoaned City's set-piece threat. 2 goals in 2 now. Guardiola direct header against Sunderland. O'Reilly with the rebound from another Guardiola header at the Bernabeu. Is this it? A City set-piece kings now?
I think the record's gone a bit longer than that, hasn't it? I think they scored set-piece at Fulham, and I think they scored set-piece against Leeds as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Foden's one against Fulham, I think, was crossed in, punched out, and then he hit the rebound in.
I think that still counts, weirdly. So they've scored in the Premier League. They've scored 5 set piece goals this season, which puts them about mid-table, and they've conceded 6, which puts them about mid-table. But most of those for and against have happened in the last month. They do look more threatening. I wonder whether that's because James French has had more time to sort of implement what he wants to do, or whether they've had a bit of a rethink on it. But I mean, the one last night for the O'Reilly goal, it's someone winning his header, isn't it? He's just wanting it more. I don't think there was any great I can't.
But I'd
have to watch it.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a pattern emerging here, though, because they all seem to be on Guardiola's head. It always seems to be Guardiola winning the header.
But they might, I mean, you would look at Guardiola in that 11 that's playing, and Guardiola's probably the most aggressive at attacking the ball. So you would probably, that would be the most obvious thing to do, was try and hit Guardiola. But I sort of mean, last night it didn't seem that intricate. I'd have to watch it again. We didn't really see that many replays last night, but it didn't feel like there was loads of clever blocking off or anything like that. It just looked like Guardiola wanted it a bit more, won his header, and Courtois messed it up. And then O'Reilly's in there and mops up. So yeah, they're obviously pleased because French, whenever they get a set piece, French goes right to the edge of the touchline and clearly has,
no impact whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I do wonder why they do that. I mean, he's not the only one. They all do it, don't they? Whether they want to feel as if they're closer to the action or take responsibility for what's going on, maybe. But he's even done it for free kicks on the halfway line, and he's rushed out and so clearly they've got plans for everything. It is working. It's another sort of positive thing. I was going to do something on it actually. It was because in a season of marginal. It might be one of these marginal gain seasons with Arsenal that if you can, I don't think you're ever going to overtake Arsenal in how good they are at set pieces. But if you can sort of narrow the gap,
that could be the difference.
Kind of get close to them, then that could be one of the differences. I was going to do that on Sunday, but I'll probably giving it away now, so maybe I'll have to have a rethink.
I can edit this out if you want me to, but
it's okay. It's okay.
We'll see. Let's talk about Phil Foden, because there were more goals for him this week. He's now scored 5 in his last 4 matches. He's been a big factor in the wins over Leeds, Fulham and Sunderland. And Dan Burke's been taking a look at how he's come back to his best.
After the win over Sunderland, Pep Guardiola was full of praise for Phil Foden.
Phil is incredible. He scored another goal. He said to me after, I didn't feel unwell today. And look what happened. How he runs and in behind and regain the balls. Phil, when he's in these momentums, in this mood, is a gift. He's a diamond. So it's top.
It's been a difficult 18 months for Foden, both on and off the pitch. Last February, he spoke about it to Ben Foster for Amazon Prime.
I definitely had burnout after all the games I played, because I'm a player who in training as well gives 100% every day. And had all the travelling on as well. It's just an overload on the body.
Can you explain what burnout is, where it comes from, what it feels like?
Just mental and body fatigue. You can just be training, you just feel absolutely knackered. Feel like your brain's not working. I definitely had that as well when I come back to this season.
A few months later, after City's defeat in the FA Cup final to Crystal Palace, Foden spoke to reporters about the mental health challenges he'd been having.
Yeah, obviously it's been a frustrating season for me. I've had a lot of things going on off the pitch mentally. Yeah, it's just one of them. Sometimes there's things in life that's bigger than football, and this season, I've struggled a little bit, but yeah, hopefully come next year I can get my head mentally right and get back where I left the season before, because I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know the quality I have.
Guardiola brought Foden back into the first team slowly this season. He played just 15 minutes in the opening 3 games before scoring on his return to the starting lineup as City beat Manchester United 3-0. Here's the manager speaking after the derby.
We miss him so much last season. We need him so much. Last season, for no reason, for injuries, for other reasons, could not be with us. And hopefully, step by step, he can get his best. And I'm pretty sure the game like today against United, because he feels a special game for him, because he's an incredible Manchester City supporter. He can be what, he's able to do. His joy and happiness in his face when we see him every day lately. Now we are sure that he's going to have the best feel.
Later in the season, before a trip to Brentford, Guardiola was asked how Foden was doing and about him opening up about his mental health struggles.
How strong he is admitted that, right? So a figure like Phil can be open-minded and speak all the world, society, like today in the young teenagers and even old people has struggled with that. As nobody is aware of that. Everyone can be that. And accept the reality, that's fantastic. That's why when I see him now and forget about it, performing at the level he's performing, because it's top level. In defense has been how his joy in the training session, his laugh, his vocal voice in the locker room, being back. It's enough. It's just what we want. Be healthy, At the end, it's a sport. It's a win, lose, draw, and important is the human being being healthy with the family, with himself. That is what we wanted, and I'm happy that step by step is top now, getting better. That's why we see the games and involved and in many things.
How important and how satisfying is it for a manager to see a player like that with a smile on his face again?
It's everything. So only we know that for the last season, always we are there, Phil. Always we are there. The club in that is beyond exceptional. So when one person suffer a little bit this type of period in his life, like this too shall pass, always life, good moments, bad moments, always we fought that, let them feel that we were there, unconditionally, whatever happened. I don't care your performance when you feel in that way. The human being come first in front of everything in life.
After the win against Borussia Dortmund, where he scored a brace, Foden said that he felt like he was playing with a smile on his face again. His performances have been steadily improving all season too. Guardiola was asked about his levels after he scored twice against Leeds.
This season has been the Phil we met for a long time ago. And as much he's happy in his life and he's, happy to, of course, to go today, Phil help us. Was the man, to win the game.
Foden followed that up with another brace, this time in that crazy 5-4 win at Fulham. And Guardiola felt like he was being asked the same questions again and again. If Foden was back.
I told you last week, this season from the beginning is back. Not now for score 2 goals. Yeah, of course, Phil is extraordinary, but not just with the goals, arrive to the box, even in far positions, the pace that they have, and especially the passes in Jeremy again have been extraordinary again. So, yeah, really good.
Guardiola has been running out of ways to praise Foden in the last few weeks. He's been looking like his old self again, scoring and assisting when City have needed him most. But more importantly, both he and his manager say he's in a much better place right now, and it certainly looks that way from his performances on the pitch as well.
Hello, this is Jason Manford, and you're listening to the Blue Moon Podcast.
If you enjoy the show, please give it a rating and a review wherever you get your podcasts.
That was Dan Burke on Phil Foden. He was a bit quieter against Real Madrid, Ciaran, but you can really see the improvement he's gone through this season, can't you?
Yeah. Did Foden get booked against Madrid?
Really early.
Really early. Yeah. I thought that's why he was a bit more within himself, really. It seemed like it was going to be those sort of batshit refereeing nights, and it sort of was. But when we almost conceded a penalty within the first 3 minutes, and then Foden gets booked that early, I think he just realised he had to be on his guard a little bit, and yeah, sort of did play within himself. But it's not to say he wasn't effective, and it's not to say he isn't always brilliant. I mean, as Dan said in the feature, they're just back playing with a smile on his face. It's so important, and I really admire Pep for how much he's pushed that. Do you remember when? Do you remember when Foden was coming through and everybody just wanted him to play every minute ever, and then he wasn't. He was kind of guided through and guided in, slowly and steadily, and then looking back, you go, Pep, played a blinder there with him and his development and his introduction into the squad. Will his reintroduction now, as he's kind of got himself a bit mentally better, I just think it's been so nice. It's been so refreshing to kind of watch him. Only have a few minutes here and there at the start of the season, and then eventually get the hunger back and get the Derby performance amazing. Almost like that he'd been held back and then let off the leash for against United, and now here he is, and he's just he's like very, very near to first name and team sheet at the minute. He's just his old self, and it's glorious because you absolutely love him. And it's weird, isn't it, talking about Nico O'Reilly there, and like how young he is, but how settled he is, and how like almost like part of the furniture he is now. Yet you forget that he's a young fella. But like it's the same as Foden. He's been around for so long. You forget that he is just a young local lad. So when you've seen him down or seen him off form or things don't seem quite right, there's a real pathos and there's a real sympathy for him, and you feel like he's one of our own, or and you feel a real nurture and feeling towards him, if you know what I mean. And seeing him back and fit and firing and happy again is just it's marvelous. I absolutely love the fella. Like,
Jack, it's the other side of this as well is it's really helped City having him back and firing and happy again, because like I know Bernardo's still there, but when you look at everybody else that like kind of understands what Guardiola wants and kind of has been through it all, Foden's the kind of next one along who gets it and gets what City need to do.
Yeah, exactly that. And I saw there's a little bit of criticism of his performance at Madrid overnight. And I thought he wasn't explosive, wasn't involved that much, but it seemed to me that he was doing a really, really good positional job for them, and it sort of speaks to what you said about him understanding what City want and what Guardiola wants. He was kind of like positioning himself quite close to Tchouaméni, but just that too far away. So Tchouaméni's like really unsettled, and it's like he's checking back, doesn't know where he is, doesn't know whether to go and like engage in the middle of the pitch and leave Foden on his own, and I think like you're not directly impacting the game there, but what you're doing is you're sort of like discombobulating Real Madrid's best midfielder or City midfielder, which is probably allowing someone like Cherky to go and do what he did last night. But I don't think that's sort of. Maybe I might be overthinking it, but I think that's kind of was his role last night, and it was some of it was quite mature, and he's coming into his prime now. He's 25, he's going to be 26 when the World Cup's on. I think I think he's May, isn't he?
Yeah, he's late in the year. Like say late in the year, as in like academic season. Year or season. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did. I've done a fucking absolutely wanging on about my pieces tonight. But I did a piece on Foden today, and spoke to a few people that know him, and they just said like talking to him now is like talking to a completely different fella than like earlier in the year, like completely different.
Have you noticed like he does? I don't know if he's been doing more mixed zones and more media stuff, but he's been doing more TV, and it feels like when he's speaking, he's more relaxed in those interviews now as well.
Yeah, I remember the first time we ever spoke to him, which I think was 2017 in New York on a pre-season tour, and it was like someone knew, I think it might have been Stuart Brennan at the MEN, someone knew that he'd been a ball boy for the Aguero game. And this would be a good feature, like local lad. Everyone thinks he's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And you had to you sort of had to ask him a question for him to say yes and then use your question as the quote, because he just couldn't answer. He just couldn't bring himself to do it. And now to sort of watch him like do these things, and he has a laugh, and he throws in like the odd like snarky remark at people, and think that he's got he's got a little bit of a wicked personality when he wants to have, and like it's completely changed. I mean, I remember doing speaking to him after an England under-21 game in 2019, when it was around that time that Ciaran was talking about before, when everyone said, "Oh, he has to be playing all the time," and he really wasn't. And I've spoken to him about this since. He almost started crying when we were talking about City. Like, he was so desperate to play and was so upset that he wasn't, but also sort of understood why he wasn't, and it was all getting on top of him. And like loads of like fans were, there was this huge discourse around whether he should go out on loan or whether he should stay, and like. Foden would never want to, he never wanted to go on loan. The thought of leaving Manchester filled him with dread. Like, he's not one of these people that could go to and rip it up at Dortmund.
Yeah.
Like, he just wouldn't be able to do it, which is fine because everybody's different. And I remember like Tottenham coming in for him and him just going, "No, I don't want to go down there." Like, and this was a loan. And he just but that thing in Turkey just showed how much he cared for achieving what he wanted to achieve at the club, even at that sort of young age when he was 18, 19. And to see what he's done is phenomenal achievement. I mean, he's overtaken Kevin De Bruyne in the all-time goal scoring.
That's mad, isn't it? It doesn't feel right, does it? It feels like he should still be a long time off because he's still so young.
I mean, he's got 109 now. What did Brooke finish on? 177. Foden signs a new contract, plays for another 7 or 8 years. Like, he's beating Brooke, which, I mean, that record stood for a long time, didn't it? Will obviously be broken twice, probably 3 times, because there's Aguero, Haaland, and Foden. And with the amount of interviews he's doing, it's because he's become one of the senior guys. And he talked the last few weeks about wanting to take on more responsibility and things like that. And yeah, I think he's had a real think in the last few months about changes he wants to make with personal trainers and people in his inner circle and bits and bobs off the pitch as well as on it. And yeah, he's obviously thriving, which is great.
Yeah, he's in a much better place, which is, that, as Pep said in the feature as well, that's the kind of first and foremost thing, and then the rest of it kind of follows naturally as well. Now, before we move on, I've got a quick announcement. We've launched our first ever Blue Moon Podcast Annual. It's a collection of pieces written by regulars on the podcast, all about City in 2025 from various different angles. So to give you a few examples, Dan Burke's been looking at all the players who have become boo boys in the last 12 months. Niall Taylor, who does Retro City Goals on Instagram, he's been looking at the best goals of the year, the calendar year 2025. And Bob Toole has been picking out the key matches that have defined how the year has progressed for City. It's available now for all Patreon members on the FA Cup tier or higher. If you're not a member and you would like to have a look at it, you can buy each article individually for £3 or the whole collection of 6 pieces for £7.50. Or you can sign up by going to members.bluemoonpodcast.com.
Ad-free episodes are available on Patreon. Sign up at patreon.com/Blue Moon Podcast.
Time to look ahead to the game with Crystal Palace, and we'll start with a view from Selhurst Park. I've been speaking to the comedian and Palace fan Andre Vincent about this weekend's game in an interview that Vinny totally forgot he was doing, and so ended up speaking to me from the beach in Folkestone near his mum's. I started by asking about their excellent opening to the season.
All it was caring about hurting Liverpool. That was the dream of the beginning of the season. We just must hurt them all the time. So, the fact that we've beaten them 3 times since the beginning of the season is such a beautiful feeling. The Charity Shield in the league and the League Cup. We're just, that's all we cared about. That's all we cared about. But we've just got a little bit of ambitions above our station, I believe. To be fourth, to be a Palace fan at this time, without a doubt. I wouldn't even say the best squad, but certainly the best manager. I think we've found at last a manager that understands football. And as I've said on many a time on your podcast, I always believed that we were being run by people that were playing FIFA and being 13-year-olds playing FIFA. It was that mentality of just old stars and people we knew. It was always very embarrassing. But this Glasner is phenomenal. He's certainly the engine behind it. Everyone goes, oh, but Mateta is just fantastic, and you go, yeah, on his day, when he wants to come and play, he's and all the stars that we had. They're saying the same about Eze now in Arsenal, but when he wants to turn it on, he turns it on. Elise in doing the same. We still haven't. I think Adam Wharton, special. So special.
But as a team, though, this is the key to it, though, isn't it? Like their day is so often their day at the moment. 2025 has been incredible for Palace because you've been such a unit throughout the entire calendar year.
Yeah, I mean, even the other day when Nathaniel Klein came in to play right wing back, I've never seen him play as a wing back. I was just going, well, that's all they've got to do now is Fulham just got to come down their left side. They'll take him apart. He just clicked into the team and knew where people was. I mean, that's the thing. If you watch Palace, the way they put the ball about when they have it. I mean, again, I think even on the against Fulham, it was only 35% of the possession. But the way they move the ball about, knowing where everybody is superb. Glasner's really got them working, which we've never had before. We've always had that flurry of give it to the star, give it to Zaha, let him run with it, let him see what he can do with it, give it to Lesse. We've had it for years. Since I was a kid, give it to Hilaire, see what he'll do with it.
How has it been at Selhurst? Because, it's for City, it's been a bit of a difficult place to go in recent years. Has it been a fortress for you at the moment?
I would like to say so, but when we have, the European games have just been pretty abysmal. I mean, you want it to, that if you come to Palace, you're going to walk away without any points. That's the dream. But maybe because I still have that attitude as a Palace fan, that I could wake up in 2 weeks' time and we're in the bottom three. There's still that perception because that's been Palace for decades. But I wouldn't say that we're a fortress of solitude. No, I wouldn't say that you're going to. We still have to fight for points at home. And that's the worst thing is being that, that constant being one ahead and then walking away a 2-1 defeat. That seems to be, the story at the moment. And for the life of me, we didn't have it the other day with Fulham, which was great. We went 1-0 ahead and then they pulled one back and I kind of went, oh, this is it. We're going to be a 2-1 loss again. And then, for us to suddenly turn it around, brilliant. Let's hope we can get that mentality back again.
It's interesting you feel that, though, because you look at the goals against column, Palace, second best defence in the league.
Yeah, I know. But we still have those leaks. It's still, it's still that... I don't know. It's still not that confident, I feel. It's just that it can happen at any time that it'll just turn. But that's because I've had years of it, I suppose. And I'm still
it's Stockholm Syndrome, that's what it is.
Every game that I can't confidently go, yeah, we got this in the bag. Even with Wolves, I was... I bet they do. I bet they turn us. Wouldn't it be brilliant if their first win's against Arsenal? I think that would be my highlight of the season. If their first win is against Arsenal, I will be so happy.
Imagine. How have you been after European games? Because you're away at Shelbourne before this one. Now, it's not the most kind of exhausting of trips to nip over to Ireland, but how have you been after the European games?
Again, the confidence is wonderful, and the you've seen what we're like. We will, we could be 10-0 down, and we'll still be singing. The Homesdale will still be louder than anything else. It does scare me. I love that. I love that. It's the attitude that I've got, that we just we can't believe that we're still riding the ride. We're still here and we're still having an incredibly good time, and so we will be loud. And even with the losses, we were still very happy to be there, which I suppose is a good attitude. I mean, how many times do you see with so many teams that as soon as you have 2 losses like that, you'd be begging for somebody's head? We're still walking away going, he's the best we've ever had. He's the best we've ever had.
Well, I mean, let's get to that, Vinny, because the elephant in the room here is that you won the FA Cup at the back end of last season, and you beat City to do it. What was that like?
It was a lovely moment. It was a lovely moment. It was that, we all turning up at Wembley going, well, it's a day out, isn't it? It's a posh hot dog for a change. I had a gig that night. I had to cancel it because I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak. There was just no voice left from screaming and shouting. Which was fantastic.
Did you get away with one with Henderson though? That's the question.
Oh, yes. I mean, of course, you lot won't let that go, will you? I mean, I've looked at it. I've seen the ball directory and all of that. Well, it wasn't going towards the goal. And if you lot want to keep digging that old wound up, then by all means, by all means, bless you.
Where does it end, Vinny? How far can Palace go this season?
I look. I'm still assuming mid-table. I'm still expecting someone to upset the cart along the way. I would love to see us if we can get a result in Ireland tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll say that now because we're recording on Wednesday, but I know you'll probably be putting this out on the Friday. So yesterday, there's already been a result. We won yesterday. We lost yesterday. Edit the way you want to.
I'll work that out. Yeah.
If we can get a result, then there will be that little bit more confidence for European. Again, it's that constant thing of, well, they've gone down to the conference, so they've got better chance there, and I could see them walking away with that one. Again, we're just happy to being invited to the party. It's all right. We Nottingham Forest did the dirty, and we ended up dropping down one, but bless them, they're doing very well. And we're just happy to be there. Seriously, I mean, people don't get that. We've just had such a lovely run at the moment. We're just taking pictures of the table constantly, going, look, we're 4th. And if that's what even if we end up 13th, we will keep that other picture on our phone where we were once 4th. 2 weeks ago, I took one of Bromley top of the league. That's how sad it is.
You've mentioned Adam Wharton already. Who's playing well? I mean, the whole team's playing well right now, but who is standing out right now?
I'd say. Well, you know what? Everybody's was moaning about Pino, but I think he's cracking. I think he's really, gone into that spot where Eze was, and he's done. I think he's a great little mover, and he scored an absolute corker of a goal a couple of weeks ago. Well deserved. I mean, everyone's Sarr is beautiful. As I said, Munoz coming in. Everyone just has their little moments. That's the thing. Even when Will Hughes comes on, there used to be a time where with Palace, where you'd sort of go, why are they swapping that person and bringing that person on in after 20 minutes, 20 minutes left? Oh God, this is going to be awful. But there isn't one moment. I mean, even the other day when he took off both Jumpo and then Ede as well after 30 minutes against Fulham, and you were still slightly confident with who he brought on. It's really good down there at the moment. Really good. It's going to be a question of who's with us in January, I think.
Yeah. Well, City coming to your place, it should be an entertaining game, if nothing else. We got the charity bet. What's your score prediction? What are you going for?
I'm going to have to go for the Palace 2-1. I don't know. Again, look at your Viking. If he comes with his boots on and he's in the mood, that's going to be a great fight, isn't it? Him and Gaughan together, that's going to be gorgeous. Gaughan will be on him constantly, and it's just going to really rollick him. And he's going to be, this is going to be lovely, isn't it? Lovely to watch. I've got a gig in Bury St Edmunds on Sunday night. I might have to get there very early so I can find a pub. Otherwise, I'll be watching it on my phone going, who's that?
You're listening to the Blue Moon Podcast. You've made it this far, so don't give up now.
Andre Vincent, it's a tricky one, this, Jack, because how does Guardiola basically go unchanged again? Because he must surely want to, but how realistic is it that he can keep doing it?
I think it is realistic, because I think the Brentford game is going to be wholesale. If I was going to be a betting man, they're going to go all Leverkusen. They're going to go all Leverkusen on the Carabao. That's what we're going to do. I think, I don't think you can change it for Sunday. Like Sunday's feels like a really big game, and another test of sort of where they're at. I mean, the Palace has not been a place where they've been particularly comfortable over the last few years. They've had a few draws, haven't they?
They drew there
recently.
Last season. That was when Rico Lewis was sent off. Before the whole kind of collapse properly happened. I think the year before, was that the 0-0 draw or the 1-0 Haaland penalty? There was one of those. They're all tough games, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I remember one on a Monday night when they won the league. I can't remember. It may have been 2021 or 2022. And everyone, all the staff on the way down, like people like texted me or whatever, they were like, "We're going to get beat tonight." They were convinced. And the Palace has that feel for people within the club. I don't know why. It's just, you get these strange fixtures, don't you? I mean, they'll go in with confidence, but Palace did all right, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, there's quite a lot of conflict at Palace at the moment, I think, with the sort of the chairman and the fallout from the UEFA stuff. And obviously Glasner's not happy. Gaughan's going to go in the summer. Mateta's not. From the outside looking in, we're all looking at Mateta going, he's having a great season. Apparently he's not. So there are I think there are issues at Palace, but then they're really high in the league and have seemingly done really well. So I'm really looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to the Real game, and that didn't disappoint. And I think Palace is going to be quite a high quality game.
Mm-hmm. How will it make you feel, Ciaran, if City are unchanged again, but then you see the lineup drop for Brentford and the three-handled beauty of a competition that is the Carabao Cup is getting the Leverkusen treatment?
I know. Well, it's okay to kind of deprioritize the Champions League, but you just don't mess with the Carabao. Do not Leverkusen the Carabao.
It's been so long. It's been so long since they've won it.
I know.
Can we just drop this Carabao stuff?
I know. It used to be funnier when we really passionately loved it and it was our thing. We've all moved on, but it's like you just it's just that old flame that won't old flame that won't extinguish. There is a light that never goes out.
It's the only cup that has like the fact that it has 3 handles is like extravagant. The fact that Carabao, the sponsors, when they did the draw a few years ago, they spelt their own name wrong. Like these sorts of things, you can't mitigate for these sorts of things. It makes the competition so wholesome.
Yeah,
very Scottish.
And a sponsor, like, nobody's had that drink still, even after all these years. Like, oh wait, he's choking again. Nurse. You have had the drink, Jack.
So the Carabao, yeah, I've had it now. I'm absolutely wired. I've had about 6. Carabao, the Wembley fridges for the final are always heavily stocked with Carabao. So I've had my fair share of Carabao in my time.
What does it taste of?
It tastes of Lucozade in Monster. They all taste. I'm sure it's the same recipe. It was really nice.
What colour is it? Because I've never seen it. I just imagine it's like green.
It's the same colour as a Biscoff piss.
Is that on the Dulux chart?
Yeah. I don't know what colour it is. Carabao.
You've
Monster,
consumed it. We've never seen it.
It's not the sort of thing you decant, is it? You have it out the can. So I don't know. It could be purple for all I know.
Okay,
that's true. Actually, okay. God knows what colour like Red Bull is or anything. Like what? What colour is that fluid?
I remember being quite quite surprised, and actually looking at someone going, "This is all right. I might go and buy this," and then realising that nowhere stocks it because it's Carabao.
I've never seen it in the wild anywhere.
No.
Yeah. But City have to get the trophy back at some point, Ciaran. It doesn't start by making 10, 11 changes against Brentford, does it?
No, it doesn't. And quite a few of the Burks are going to. You know, it's looking like because the tickets were priced quite well, and people are getting that kind of Carabao fever back again. And a nice home draw against a decent side, and with the fans' enthusiasm is back a little bit again after a bit of a. I'm not saying everybody's just a glory hunter and in it for the win, but things were a bit frustrating, and there was a bit of a slump and moods were down and stuff. So it just you absolutely never know what you're going to get. So if he does do a Leverkusen and it is wholesale changes, it'll be a bit of crack, and you'd like to think that those 11 have been sort of read the riot act and they'll have something to prove after Leverkusen as well, because that was an absolute fucking awful performance. It's a weird one though, because how can you get the chemistry and how can you get them gelling when we basically have a starting 11 who's set in stone almost? It seems to be interchangeable Reinders and Cherky, and that's it. How can they gel, and how can they kind of get finding their feet to know how to play together? But if they want the sweet taste of Carabao, they're just going to have to find a way.
Yeah. Jack, they've been sharing the goals around recently. The talk earlier in the season was, are City too reliant on Haaland? And now it seems to be, can City get Haaland in front of goal anymore because everyone else is scoring instead? So, obviously, you can't please everyone all the time. But Diaz, Gvardiol, Foden, O'Reilly, Haaland have all scored this week. Foden has scored the majority of them. He's got since the winning run started after the back-to-back defeats against Leeds. They've had 13 goals from 7 players. Foden's got the majority of them. Then it's Haaland and Gvardiol on 2. The rest have got 1. And there's been a kind of a mix-up in the types of goal as well, because obviously we talked about the set pieces. Diaz belted one in from range. There's been O'Reilly with a tap in. There's been a couple of solo efforts where Foden's carried it, Doku's carried it. There's been build-up there. It feels like they're kind of getting a bit of variety back again.
Yeah, I just think that comes with more fluidity in the way that you play, and you're talking about sort of Ciaran's talking about kind of the cohesion of that team against Leverkusen. Obviously, they're not going to have it, are they? Because they don't play together. These guys are playing with each other every week, so that kind of understanding allows you to go and score different types of goals. I saw a stat. I think Opta put a stat out today about the amount of unchanged teams that Pep has named. I think it's 5 this season, or 5 on the trot, which is as many as in all of his previous seasons at City, which I thought was absolutely mental. And I had to read it like 2 or 3 times to go, are they sure? Like, I mean, if Oxford have tweeted it must be right, but I thought he had unchanged teams pretty much all the way through run-ins.
Who's missing out? Like, from the bench. I know. Like there are regular characters who are featuring on the bench, but like, who would you bring in and who could improve things? But, like obviously the starting 11 is set in stone and he seems happy with it. But I'm trying to think what options from the bench there even are that you would mix up or you would meddle with.
Possibly Reinders.
So that's the one he has been kind of doing, isn't it?
I think there probably would be a school of thought that maybe if they had extra protection, then maybe Reinders could play instead of Silva. And Silva's basically doing that job of like plugging loads of gaps defensively in the press and things like that, which I think he's actually doing better than people are giving him credit for at the moment.
I agree. Yeah.
He, again, last night he ran more than anyone else on the pitch. Like he did nearly 13 kilometres last night.
He's killing himself, isn't he? Like, it's mental.
Yeah. And you can just see him like storming his way through and just. And then maybe
Kusanov and Nunes swap them.
Kusanov, yeah. It was interesting actually. Ian Ladyman was with me at the game last night, and he obviously doesn't watch City live as much as I do. So what's up with Kusanov? He just like can't get a game, and it's like, well, probably at the moment, you would play him at right back, and with the way they're playing, which is quite lopsided, particularly on the right hand side, so it's sort of weighted towards the left, isn't it, with Doku, who would play slightly wider than whoever played on the right. Although I'm aware that Doku's coming inside and whatever, which means that Nunes is having to do that Kyle Walker role where he's like bombing and becoming a high winger, which you can't really ask Kusanov to do that. That's not in his skill set, so that's probably why he's not playing. So maybe it changes when
the front line changes a bit,
when they start getting more control in midfield, maybe then Kusanov starts playing, and then I don't know. Diaz is in there for his organisational stuff, but I mean, John Stones is
Is he out for a while? Or what's
probably the best centre half, isn't he? No one knows. No one knows. I mean, probably to answer. Sometimes silence doesn't sound particularly brilliant.
Yeah.
I just pulled that tweet up from Opta. He didn't have any unchanged lineups in 18-19, 19-20. He had one unchanged lineup in 2021, two in 21-22, and then none in 22-23 or 23-24, and two last season.
I don't know. I suppose that's in all competitions, isn't it? So
it'll be like
skews it slightly.
It skews it because you'll drop a League Cup game in here and a Champions League game there, and this sort of thing. Yeah.
But then that still is a mental stat to me, because that's not. They're not. It's not on the. They're not consecutive games, are they? That's just like the whole season.
The whole season, yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's mad.
Email the show through our website, bluemoonpodcast.com.
Ciaran, City haven't controlled games that well lately, as we've been talking about. How are you feeling about Selhurst Park then on that front? Because if they can't control it, should they be more willing to just kind of lean on the creative flair of players like Cherky and Foden and kind of go, okay, well, we'll break, you'll break, and we take those risks? Or should they just go, you know what, you're dangerous. You could be quite dangerous in transition, so we need to work really hard here and get Bernardo into places to kind of cut out attacks and make sure that Nico's on it and like make sure that we have as much control as we can get.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because if you look at the games we've reviewed this evening, it's Sunderland, which was pure control, and Madrid, which is pure chaos. And I imagine Sunday is going to fall somewhere in between. I think as much as possible, pass it around. It's one of those lovely things that you see every so often when the sort of mature leaders in the team just realise, ball in the fridge for a minute. We need to pass around the little triangles somewhere, in an area of safety on the pitch. And as much as they can find those moments, it gives everybody a breather, and teams will struggle no matter who you are to get the ball off City in those, when they get into that kind of wave. But then again, they've survived chaos at the Bernabeu. I know they've got a pretty mad record at Selhurst Park, and Palace are a team, especially under Glasner, like they're really, really difficult to play against. And when they've been a bit of a bogey team for so long, for City, home and away, and you never really know what you're going to get. But I just think City are finding a bit of a verve, and there's confidence there. They've survived that mad, crazy, end-to-end game, and they've shown that they can find some control too. So it's a bit of a sweet spot mix of that
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, would be great. Would be ideal.
Because when you look at it as well, Jack, Arsenal have the best defence in the league, but then Crystal Palace are not far behind with the second best defence in the league. But City are quite comfortably the best attack in the
miles
league.
ahead.
Yeah.
Miles ahead, but only Haaland scores.
Not this week, though.
No. It's been a really, really strange season, hasn't it? Doesn't seem to be sort of any kind of linear explanation to anything, I don't think. I think...
Do you think Pep kind of gave a bit of a thinly veiled criticism of Arsenal after the Sunderland game when he said, I've experience of winning this league, and the team that wins this league are the best team, like the team who plays well all the time. So it's like, don't rely on your set pieces, don't just rely on defence, and that's it. You have to play well too. So I think what's been happening the past couple of months in this season has just been trying to play well in the kind of as a bit of a sanctuary for all the madness that's kind of going around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just get that right, and everything else will follow.
That kind of thing. Yeah, take your points and your goals will come.
I think what he was saying after that game was more sort of aimed at the TV and the newspapers. Actually, I think he's been quite upset that people have written him off, and sort of anointed Arsenal as champions relatively recently. I mean, when Liverpool started as they started, people were going, well, no one's going to catch them, are they? They're going to run away with it. And then it was Arsenal, and now he's going, well, we're here, by the way. And to be honest with you, we've all been guilty of it. I looked at him. I was sat right behind the bench at Brighton in August and went, they're not going to get out of this. They just didn't seem to me like they had. Not that they didn't have a plan B, because he's got plans coming out of his ears, obviously. But he looked like someone who didn't really quite have the answer and didn't really understand why they were playing, or how they were playing. Sorry. And I was like, well, it's going to be very, very tricky for them to sort of challenge Arsenal and Liverpool from this point. And obviously that was 2 defeats out of 3, and you're going, yeah, I don't know. And then they had it was obviously it was the international break after Brighton. They had a captain's meeting before the United game, where they sort of got together and talked about standards and things like that. And then that seemed to work. And they've broadly, since then, they've been all right. They've lost a couple of games. Villa, I didn't think they were awful at Villa.
The only game I thought they were awful in was Leverkusen, and he made so many changes.
Yeah. I thought the Villa game they were fine. I probably didn't deserve to win it, but I don't think they deserve to lose it. So they've been. I think they've just been they've been all right. And the second half, the performance against Leeds was probably the worst of the season. I would say. But they found a way to win it, and I don't think they'll play that badly again. So they've, just going back to my point, I think he thinks that people, probably me included, have very short memories, and that was why he was making his little remark. And they're becoming, as we said at the top of the show, they're becoming more frequent, these remarks at the moment.
The funny thing is, though, from what you've said there, Jack, is that like watching them against Brighton in August and thinking he looks like he doesn't have the answer. It's funny how they're playing so well, but I still don't think an answer has been hit upon. It's a solution. It's like it's a suck it and see kind of like hitting hope. Every game's different. Let's see how we get on here. And I think that's what's making the season. There's no rhyme or reason or rhythm to anything yet, but it's really good fun. And, you know, they're racking up the points too. So everybody was really, really upset after Leeds and Fulham. I was just like, this is fucking brilliant crack. Like, this is a good laugh, because the points are coming. There's loads of goals. It's really entertaining, and it's sort of like white knuckle stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because there is no answer and there is no solution to it. It's just like, let's go, let's experiment, let's have a bit of a fucking piss around. Like,
it's almost like he's gone, you know what, you thought what I was doing was boring. All right, then I'll win it your way. I'll win it your way with high balls and, you know, set pieces.
Yeah. But he's talked for the last 18 months about the sort of style of the Premier League and football generally kind of changing, and that they needed to adapt to it. And he's always had this thing of we're no good on the long in the big spaces. We don't have the players to sort of counter attack it. It's bollocks. Like, they've always had the best. They've always had the best players. So the best players are going to be almost the best at everything. Like, do you remember 17-18?
They were good in the big spaces then. Yeah.
They had Aguero, couldn't like, not the quickest, was he? I know they had Sane and Sterling and whatever, but they've always been able to do that. He just didn't want to do it because he didn't think that was the best way to play, which is fine. And I think what sort of Ciaran was talking about before, about the sort of people being upset by sort of performances against Leeds and Fulham. I think actually that reaction is quite a mature reaction from City fans generally, because it'd be very easy to sort of kind of gloss over it and go, oh, everything's hunky dory, we're brilliant, we're winning most weeks. But I think there's been quite a lot of positive critical thought gone into the performances and whatever, which is good. You wouldn't get that from every fan base, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, as Ciaran also mentioned earlier, we've only got one win on the charity bet this season, so good luck, you two. William Hill has given us 3 £10 correct score singles on City's games. The winnings are going to the Man City Fans Food Bank support group, and we've only got 75 quid in the kitty so far, so we could really do with improving that. We heard earlier that Vinny's gone for a 2-1 Crystal Palace win. That is 11-1 and £110 if he's right. Ciaran, what are you having for the trip to Selhurst Park?
An away win, 2-0.
Away win 2-0 is 17-2 and £85. Jack?
A home and away draw, 2-2.
A home and away draw, not just a home draw. That's 11-1 and £110 if you're right. That brings us on to Brentford. What are you having for this, Jack?
2-0 home win, but I mean, who
knows?
At this point, who knows?
Yeah. When you said 2-0 over, I was like, does he mean home win? Does he mean away win if he thinks there's going to be changes? I don't know. 6-1 if it's a 2-0 home win, though. 60 quid. Ciaran, what are you having?
A home and away draw, 1-1.
A home and away draw 1-1 on 90 minutes, because we don't take the penalty shootout into account. That would be 8-1 and 80 quid if you're right. I think City will squeak it 2-1, but as everybody else has said, who the hell knows? 13-2 and 65 quid if I am right. Remember, you've got to be 18 or over to gamble. Prices can change, and for information on responsible gambling, have a look at gambleaware.org. We have been wanging on, so we will squeeze in a very quick listener question at the end, because there's one other thing that I do want to talk about before we finish the show.
You have a look mildly annoyed at the length of answers that me and Ciaran have been given this evening. I've got to say, you've been like,
I've been engrossed by the answers you've given.
I think we should move on. Shut up.
That's not how
I've known you long enough.
My early answers were quite long because I wanted to let you enjoy your feast, Jack. So
I'm still going. I'm still having it.
It's incredible, man.
It's absolutely massive.
It's great work. We'll finish with this from Alex on Blue Sky, who says, why do you think Guardiola was so down on Cherki's Rabona assist against Sunderland? Do you think he sees it as disrespectful? How much is he going to tame this side of Cherki's game? And Ciaran, I like this question because back in the day when me and you used to write for Typical City, we invented assist of the season for one assist in particular. Was it James Milner to Negredo, or was it Negredo to Milner?
Around, yeah, Negredo, I'd say that way around. Foot. Yeah, against Fulham, actually, yeah.
Against Fulham. And Cherky goes and does this Rabona for Foden, which, I mean, surely would take the title of assist of the season already.
Yeah, somebody took the piss out of us on Twitter about that once we published that, and then it was kind of felt that, right, I suppose it is a bit daft, let's not do that. But I don't know why you wouldn't. People go, oh, what a great ball.
That's a really, really good idea.
What a ball that was. You know, like, I don't know why a beautiful pass isn't kind of like taken just as a beautiful goal as well. There should be like a Puskas award, is it?
Puskas. I'd say Puskas award,
Should be a version of that for assist, the Cherky award.
What? I was saying, who would it be? The De Bruyne award?
The De Bruyne award, yeah. So, yeah, let's do that every year. The De Bruyne award for assist of the season goes to Ryan Cherky for his Rabona against Sunderland. Do you know what? To sort of piggyback off something Jack just talked about in the previous discussion, like that sort of maturity versus immaturity idea, and that way you see football and the way you respond to it. And Cherky has got that, you know, that assist in that moment, the innocence and the fun and just the enjoying football for what it is kind of idea. And, you know, Foden's reaction as he ran, giggling with his tongue out and, you know, shaking his head, like that kind of giddy schoolboy side of things, versus Pep just kind of having to be a bit more mature about it as, you know, as a manager, and saying, like, because you can tell that Cherky annoys him a little bit. If Cherky is losing the ball at the minute and making a bad decision or giving things away, he gets really, really annoyed. Whereas, you know, sort of something that maybe, I don't know, one of his little favourites like Bernardo would do or something, he doesn't seem to be just as, you know, hypercritical. And I think it's because Cherky's so phenomenal. He's an artist and he's a maverick. So if he's going to be too artistic and too maverick, there's going to be a danger that it goes to his head, or that he does lose the ball, or he makes the wrong decision at points. So I think he had to wind it back in a little bit, and it was just the two philosophies clashing a little bit. I'm sure he's delighted because the ball went in the back of the net, but and I'm sure he loved, you know, the aesthetic of it, and he respects, you know, an incredible piece of skill as much as the next man does. But just as a bit of a future message, it was a bit of a loaded comment to be to Cherky.
Like, not every time.
Yeah. You need to think about what you're doing and be diligent and conscientious in your thinking, not just flair and showmanship all the time. I don't think that he thought it was disrespectful per se. I thought it was fairly necessary in the moment. And as he says, you know, he wants to give pleasure and he wants to entertain, and like, what's not to love about that? That's class. But maybe as a manager, you just have to tamper things a little bit and calm it down in case it, you know, it runs into something and becomes a bit of an issue, or does become disrespectful, for example. You know,
I don't think he was bothered about the skill at all, personally. The sort of build up to him saying what he said was, I'd said to him, because the last few weeks Cherky's come back into it. He was absolutely nowhere 6 weeks ago. No, couldn't get a game, could he? So I said, oh, well, has he, since he's come back from his injury, has he sort of understood when to play and when not to play? And is he, like, his decision making in the final third seems to have improved? And Pep said, oh, well, you know, I should have known better, really. But he said, well, when they get to the final third, I don't tell them what to do. I tell them what to do up until this point, and then they can do whatever they want. So I think him just saying, like, do the Rabona, and Rabona's great if we score or if, like, something happens. But as you said, David, it's just like, just pick your moments.
It's the age-old thing, though, isn't it, with Guardiola, where it's like you have to play the ball, but get it right. Because if you don't get it right, it seems like Pep absolutely loves him. I got a video of them both after the final whistle last night, and in each other's arms on the pitch and all that sort of stuff. And he one of you said Maverick before, and it's exactly the perfect description of him. That's what he is, and Maverick should be protected at all costs because.
But what was your take on his comparison to Messi? Like, why did he need to throw Messi and Messi's simplicity in? That was the bit that got it for me, because I just don't know who that would have benefited. How would that have benefited Cherky? Like, to go, well, Messi did things simple and look at him, because like nobody else is Messi. and Cherky's a very different player.
It's just a bit of a challenge, isn't it? It's just saying like, thinking slightly, that critical thinking and thinking slightly differently. It's going, Messi didn't have to do Rabonas to score 600 goals or whatever, so you don't have to. I don't know. But
maybe Messi couldn't do it. Maybe that was a skill Messi didn't have.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, because Cherky does. This is in his arsenal. This is in his his skill set, his toolbox. I'm not saying Messi couldn't have done a Rabona assist. I can guarantee he would have. And some of the beauty of watching Messi play is how simple he made things look. So I do get what he's kind of getting at, but I just don't think you can tar Cherky with Messi didn't do that. So you don't have to, because it's an operation.
I think also the other thing with these sort of post-match interviews and whatever is that he'd got asked countless questions about Cherky after the game, quite rightly, because Cherky was man of the match. And sometimes you don't want to just say like, he's great, he's improved, blah, blah, blah. He's just found a different way of talking about the same topic. And then it's actually goes back to what I was saying before. Man says interesting word. Like Messi in that context is an interesting word. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll probably say that to them all. I might as well just say that to all of them. And like really, we place great weight in what it means, but maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe he just said it. Like it's not going to bother Cherky, because Cherky's with him every day of the week, isn't he? And he's going to get far more like detailed messaging than a soundbite on the BBC after he's recorded assist of the season, according to the Blue Moon podcast.
The Kevin De Bruyne Award for assist of the season.
The Kevin De Bruyne Award for assist of the season.
You should ask the club if you could award him that. She'll get a really cheap sort of like
little trophy.
Yeah.
A cannabis cup.
I mean, the challenge has been laid down for somebody else to better it now between now and the end of the season, hasn't it? There we are.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And what a place to end for this week's episode by saying maybe it doesn't mean anything, because that could be the whole last hour and 20 minutes in a nutshell, couldn't it? But that is it for this episode of the Blue Moon podcast.
The last 34 years of my life.
Sorry about that, Mike. Thank you very much to my guests for this one, Ciaran Murray.
Thank you so much for having me. Brilliant crack.
And Jack Gaughan.
Thanks, mate.
There is a clip of the most recent Nostalgia episode coming up shortly. That was Richard Burns inducting Carlos Tevez into the Cult Hero Hall of Fame. The full thing is available now for Patreon members. Head on over to members.bluemoonpodcast.com for more information. We've also got Christmas coming up soon, so if you're looking for a present for the City fan in your life, then you could also buy them a year's subscription to the Patreon. They'll get this show ad-free, plus the Nostalgia episodes every Monday. And for more information on how to do that, head on over to gift.bluemoonpodcast.com. I'll be back next week to review the games with Palace and Brentford and look ahead to the West Ham match. See you then.
That was the Blue Moon podcast. Please give the show a rating and a review where you can. And don't forget, you can listen without the ads by signing up to our Patreon. You'll also get an extra episode each Monday. Here's a clip of this week's.
I do remember the story at the time being that he was asked to warm up and he said no, and then that got mixed as he was asked to come on the pitch and he said no and refused to come on. Basically, you've got a fiery character in Tevez, a fiery character in Mancini, and two personalities clashing, haven't you?
Yeah, you've almost taken the words out of my mouth. The only difference is I was going to say combustible. Like you've got two very let's go for the thesaurus here. You've got two very volatile men who are
they're both quite explosive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a powder keg situation. Once you light those sticks of dynamite, you're just gonna go kaboom.
I was going to say, maybe nobody really knows, apart from Mancini and Tevez, what actually went down. But I also wonder if the truth is neither of them know either. Because I wonder if Mancini truly believes that Tevez said, no, I'm not coming on. And I wonder if Tevez truly believes he was saying, no, I'm not getting warm.
I think that is entirely possible. I don't see Mancini's motivation for lying. I don't see what's in that for him. So I think miscommunication, genuine mistake, I think is all very, very possible.
You can listen to more of that at patreon.com/Blue Moon Podcast. And join us again next time for another episode.